I'm extremely disappointed how and what Azeem Rafiq had to go through. I wish in society we could look past the color of someone's skin, their religion, their background, or wherever they come from. When they use the P word towards Azeem Rafiq to say it was banter, I don't think that is banter. We need to find a way to get rid of racism in sport and, more importantly, in society.
In the recent past, what's happened with Azeem Rafiq at Yorkshire, he's had to endure quite a lot. And for someone like you who's also got Pakistani roots, how do you react to this? Because at a young stage in his career, Azeem had to go through quite a bit. So how do you react to a situation like this?
Yeah, I was listening to Azeem Rafiq's testimony the other day via YouTube. And yes, it seems like a horrific ordeal that he had to go through day in, day out, listening to some of the senior players at Yorkshire saying derogatory terms to him. So for me, the bigger issue is the fact that the players were able to get away with saying that. That just shows the culture of the club is not quite right. I think it's the responsibility of players and the senior players and coaches to say, we don't condone, we don't encourage behavior like that. And for that not to happen is absolutely shocking. To make someone feel the color of their skin, I'm extremely disappointed how and what Azeem Rafiq had to go through. I really feel that I wish in society we could look past the color of someone's skin, their religion, their background, or wherever they come from is irrelevant. It's more about what kind of person that person is and how they can live their life normally. We need to find a way to get rid of racism in sport and, more importantly, in society.
Something that was said, you lot sit near the toilet. For a young guy like Azeem, for any young player to be told to have to hear something from their captain, Gary Balance at that time, it must have been extremely hurtful. And after a year, what's probably even worse is that after a year of investigation, it's kind of brushed under the carpet as banter.
I'm a bit disappointed how Yorkshire have handled the whole matter. Obviously, I heard the word that when they used the P word towards Azeem Rafiq to say it was banter. I don't think that is banter. That we all know, especially in England, we know that is a derogatory term, and you don't use that word as banter. So it's pretty disappointing how things have been handled. However, like I mentioned earlier, we need to find a solution so that we don't have another episode of this.
Owais, were you surprised though? Because you hinted at it being prevalent. Azeem's made it very clear that it's been prevalent all through the years. Were you surprised that this happened?
When Azeem Rafiq was doing his testimony, he mentioned that a lot of players from other counties had reached out to them who haven't come forward with their name, but they were happy to speak to Azeem and say, look, we're happy that you've come forward because of this, because they've experienced something similar. So, and Azeem has played county cricket very recently, maybe 3-4 years ago. So it's clear that the problem is there and we need to do something about it. And it clear is that the problem is in up and down the country, not just at Yorkshire.
Owais, what do you think will be the true impact of something like this? The testimony, the report, the comments that have gone in after that from Michael Vaughan, from Joe Root. What do you think will be the effect of an investigation like this? Because it's quite a dark day and it's caused quite a few skeletons to come out of the closet.
ECB have to make a stand and put something into place at all the counties, because they're the governing body, to make sure every decision that is made has there's no bias, no subconscious bias even towards anyone because of the color of their skin. I think any decision has to be made on its merit. And if somebody deserves to be in a position, then they certainly should have, regardless of gender, regardless of class, regardless of color of skin. It doesn't really matter. Or religion, it shouldn't really matter. If that person is the best person for the job, they should get it. If they're the best person to lead the club or coach the club, they should get it. So I think Yorkshire, this example at Yorkshire Cricket Club should, I think, really force ECB to put things into place in the English game so that we don't have this episode at any county, let alone Yorkshire. It should not happen at any other county ever again.
How does one tackle racism at all levels in the sport? What would be your advice to the governing bodies, the ECB, the ICC, the BCCI, whoever it may be?
I think you got to make some changes at the top. So committees or boards that run organizations, I think they all have to have something in place where any decision that is made is really looked at by an individual or a bunch of individuals who certainly have no bias towards anyone. And then we can make sure that every decision is analyzed in such a way so that we don't again have an episode where we encourage or turn a blind eye to a culture where you are able to get away with saying derogatory terms to someone or telling somebody to sit next to a toilet because their skin color is dark. It's something that needs to be certainly stamped out.